Please sit. Why don't you enjoy a cup of calming jasmine tea?
All right. I think I got everything going, everything live. You're now listening to the Sleepless Dog. It's your boy Dippy. Sit back and enjoy. Right now it's what? Midnight, 12:11. I guess now it's officially February 2nd, you know. But yeah, what I want to talk to y'all about. Let me get my notes and stuff straight real quick. Yeah, like I said, it's February 2nd, and Super Bowl is right around the corner. Okay, and you know, by me being a Cowboys fan, I guess I don't really have a dog in the fight. But as far as who I plan to root for, it's a little tough. I'm conflicted. If I do say so myself, I am conflicted. That being that, I'm a big Tyreek Hill fan. Well, put me on to Tyreek, I'll never forget. I'm sitting there playing Madden 2017. Now that's weird. I've never really said the whole name of Madden before, like Madden 2017. You know, usually I play Madden 17. That was a little strange. But yeah, I was playing Madden 17, right? And I was bussing people with the Cowboys. And this is like rookie year Dak, rookie year Zeke Cowboys. So Zeke was a monster in that joint. And Dak wasn't too bad himself. Like, you know, I think that was the year Dak won. Was that the year Dak won Rookie of the Year? Or was that the year? I think, before I check, I think Dak won Offensive Player of the Year. And Zeke won Rookie of the Year. Hold on, I'm about to see. Was it Rookie of the Year? Was it? No. See, that was Ezekiel Elliott. Dak Prescott wins NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. No. Yeah, I'm right.
Whether you make it or not.
Yeah. Dak won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, right? So that was that year. So that Cowboys team was nice. They still had Dez Bryant. They still had Jason Witten. Like, I was bussing people with that team on Madden. And after a while, I was like, you know, it's time for me to get a new team. Especially in games. I don't really like using, whether it's a game like Madden or a game like Call of Duty, I don't like using the same, you know, option every time. You know, I want to explore, you know, see if I'm really good at the game or if I'm really good with the team. So I'm going through the list of teams, and at the time I was like, the Chiefs? Man, I don't ever see people play with the Chiefs. Then I'm playing online matches, and back then everybody used the same couple teams. Either played somebody. They had the Steelers. They had the Patriots, because that was when they had LeGarrette Blount. And LeGarrette Blount in that game was a monster. He could not be stopped on short, like first and short, anything in short. LeGarrette Blount was getting you that first down. All right, and then the Patriots also had that crazy playbook where they had the rocket motion, and that rocket motion was crazy in Madden 17. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I'm going through the list of teams, and I'm like, man, the Chiefs. I don't ever see people use the Chiefs. Let me give them a try. And this ain't Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs. He was on the team, but this was still when Alex Smith was starting. All right, and you know, as I'm looking through the team's roster, I believe he was fourth on the depth chart then, but you know, he was still like the starting point guard, starting punt return and kick return and all that other stuff. But I see the name Tyreek Hill, and I looked, and I was like, whoa, who is this dude? Got a speed of 90, I think it was either 97 or 98. I believe it was 98. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Madden 17 stats. I want to see how good my memory was. Oh, nah, I was off by a little bit. On Madden 17, Tyreek's stats was like a 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 agility, right? So I saw that, and I was like, whoa. I got that at the fourth receiver slot. Now, because I'm privy to some football knowledge, I already understood, like, okay, anytime I'm in a 4 receiver set, even if they come out in like a nickel or a dime package, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to either get a backup corner on them or a linebacker on them. And at the time, I was like, hold on.
Prince Zuko,
that's a
pride is not the
mismatch
opposite of
if
shame,
I've
but
ever
its
seen
source.
one.
True humility is
So I was
the
like, hold on,
antidote
I'm about to start
shame.
playing with these dudes a little bit. I'm about to start playing with these dudes. And then, and that Madden, I had also, like, I was big in Madden. I had my own playbooks and all that. So once I got the hang of them, I was like, all right, I need a whole nother playbook for this team so I can highlight this dude Tyreek Hill. And because of that game, I became a huge Tyreek Hill fan. So now we fast forwarding to the Super Bowl that we got coming up at the end of the week. I'm torn because, like I said, I'm a big fan of Tyreek Hill, so I want the Chiefs to win. But I'm also a big fan of greatness, and like the fact that Tom Brady is back in the Super Bowl. Like, there's probably never going to, other than possibly Patrick Mahomes, all right, there's probably never going to be another NFL player that gets these type of accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Like with Super Bowl appearances and Super Bowl, rings. Like what? Brady got 6 of them things. I think he got 6. Working on the 7th, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me see. But yeah, it's like I'm never gonna see. Like, it's rare you see a player this good for this long. Oh, he got 5. All right, yeah, he got 5 of them things. He working on his 6. He trying to get that Jordan ring. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see that. I do. So I'm torn. Part of me wants to see history made with Tom Brady. The other part of me wants to see the start of a beautiful dynasty behind Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Oh, and Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce in Madden 17 was a monster too. Don't get it twisted. And who was that other receiver they had? Oh man, see now y'all making me want to go and look at that Madden 17 Chiefs roster. Cause y'all not understanding. Y'all not understanding how great that Chiefs roster was. Hold on, I'm pulling it up now. I'm pulling it up now.
I love you. I just met you.
Yeah. Okay. Nah, Patrick Mahomes wasn't on the Chiefs that year. It was Alex Smith, and then they had Nick Foles backing him up, right? But at running back, they had Jamal Charles. Like, come on. You know, if you a true connoisseur of the running backs in the NFL, like, you know who Jamal Charles is. You know what he did. Like, no. And they also had Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware is somebody you shouldn't sleep on either. But they had Jeremy Maclin. I was like, oh my goodness. Jeremy Maclin as my 1, and then I'd bring in Tyreek Hill as either my 3rd or 4th receiver, depending on the type of set I had or the set I was running. Man, I was destroying people in that game. But yeah, we got the Super Bowl coming up. Brady and the Bucs. And see, that's another thing. Brady winning another ring without Bill Belichick. And I'm a Bill fan. I like Bill. I like Brady more. But I do like Bill Belichick because he be scheming people. Like, he be scheming. Like, Bill Belichick come in the game, like, especially if we talking prime Bill. Like, when I say prime Bill, like, I don't really fault Bill Belichick for how this year's Patriots team went, because it was no preseason, and then you got a new quarterback. It's kind of hard to build that rhythm with your quarterback. And then the quarterback caught COVID and had to miss some time. So I understand that. But if we talking prime Bill Belichick, you don't do what you do best against prime Belichick. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be nice to see Brady win one without him. So if I had to say so myself, I guess I am leaning towards the Bucs because I want to see history being made. But yeah, this is gonna be an exciting Super Bowl. How I really predict it to go, even though I don't even feel comfortable saying I want the Bucs to win. Because like I said, I'm such a big not Chiefs, but Tyreek Hill fan. But how I picture it going. Let's see. See, it depends. If the Bucs if the Bucks can get
The
to a
stomach is the
possession and a
source of
half
energy
up
in your body. It is
early.
called the sea.
Like when I say possession and a half up early,
Only
I'm
in my
talking
case, it's
like
more like a vast ocean.
10. Like if they up by 10 or more by midway through the second, oh, the Chiefs gonna be in trouble. Cause Brady, I mean, even though we're not gonna sit here and say Brady is still in you know, his super prime, but you know, Brady still got it, and Brady don't really make too many mistakes. So, you know, if the Bucks is up 10, like that's gonna be all on Patrick Mahomes to bring them back here. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Chiefs defense has been looking pretty good this year, but still, like, that's Brady over there. Brady not gonna turn that ball over too many times. I mean, he threw a couple picks when he played who they just played, Green Bay. He threw a couple picks in that game, and you know that's not something we used to seeing from Brady. But yeah, all in all, I'm excited. I mean, I'm Super Bowl. Really, long as it's a good game, I'm happy. But yeah, if I had to put down my bet, or if I had to pick a side, not if, because it's no fun playing defense, right? It's no fun playing defense. It's when to go home. I'm going Bucks winning it. Heck, Bucks winning by 10. I can't put the final score on it because, you know, that's Patrick Mahomes over there. He'll light the scoreboard up. But I feel like I said, if the Bucks can get up by 10, I feel like Brady can keep that 10-point lead. Yeah. I got Bucks winning the Super Bowl this year by 10. Yep. That's what I'm going with. That is what I'm going with. And, you know, since I just finished spending a lot of time talking about Madden, that brings another thought to my head, right? And, you know, I've had this thought in me for a while. And I ain't gonna lie, I haven't really told too many people about it. It was one of them things where I was like, man, I gotta keep this idea to myself, because, like, I think this is it right here. But, you know, I think it's time for me to share it. So, why haven't they brought back NFL Street yet? Like, I heard with the new Madden, I haven't got it yet, haven't played it, but I've watched some clips. I heard in the new Madden they got like a playground type mode where, like, you basically kind of play 7-on-7 football, from what I'm seeing, right? And I mean, that's kind of cool, but like, NFL Street was that game. Like, NFL Street was that game. Like, I'll never forget, NFL Street 1, my favorite team to use was the Dolphins, because they had my favorite player, Ricky Williams. I loved Ricky Williams. And it's crazy. I loved Ricky Williams because of that game. Similar to how I like Tyreek Hill. Right? You know, I'm a young pup at the time. You know, I liked football. I played football, but football was always hard for me to kind of sit down and watch. Because, you know, as a kid, you don't really want to just sit down for 3 hours and just look at the screen all day. You kind of want to get up and move. And then with the commercial breaks and all that other stuff. So I didn't really watch, and then all I did was watch Cowboys games. I didn't really watch other teams play for real. So I got the NFL Street game. My peoples got it for me for, I think it was either like birthday or Christmas or something like that. And I don't know what made me choose the Dolphins. Was it because of Chris Chandler? I think that was Chris Chandler the receiver there, because I also had Game Day. And I remember the Dolphins did have, was it Chris Chandler? Was it Chris Chandler? See, now I gotta look that up too, cause now, like, it's crazy when you start thinking back on stuff. Like, was it Chris Chandler? Was he the receiver? Let me see. Chris Chandler stats. Nah, it couldn't be Chris Chandler. Chamberlain. Something Chamberlain. Was it Chamberlain? What was his name? NFL stats. As a wide receiver.
There's nothing wrong with a life of peace and prosperity.
Not Byron Chandler. Chris Chandler? Was it Chris Chandler?
What it is that you
That's
want
Chris
from
Chamberlain?
life and
6'1".
I want my destiny.
Linebacker. Nah.
That means it's up to you.
See, now I feel like I'm rambling, but bear with me, because it's gonna bother me if I can't think of his new name. Dolphins receiver. Chris Chambers? Chris Chambers. That was his name. I remember because I did play with Chris Chambers in game day. So I think that's what might have made me want to try out using the Dolphins in NFL Street. But man, I'll never forget. They had this one play on that joint called Counter. You know, it was a simple counter play to the left. Never forget. And you would have to flip it to the right. If you wanted it to go right, you literally would just have to do the little flip play. They did not have the counter play in the playbook that went right. It only went left. And man, you would pass that, like you would hand that joint off to Ricky Williams, and he ran over everyone. Like he did in that game. Ricky Williams' truck was like a 102 out of 99. Like this man, the only person in that game who run power, because that's what they called it. They ain't even called it trucking. I remember they called it run power. The only person in that game with a higher run power than Ricky Williams was Walter Payton, and you had to use the Legends team. And best believe, when I found out about Walter Payton, I was definitely using the Legends team as well. But yeah, man, NFL Street, that was my game. I used to love playing with them. I never forget NFL Street 1. I didn't have NFL Street 2, but my bro, he had it, so I used to play it over there. And I got NFL Street 3. They changed the game in NFL Street 3 with those with the game breaker tokens, because you know in NFL Street 1, how the game breaker worked was, you know, you build up your game breaker meter by doing your little celebrations and taunts while you're running into the end zone, or by just, you know, getting first downs that'll build up your game breaker meter. But you know, the more you taunted, the more points you would build up. But the downside to taunting was, if you got tackled while you was taunting, 12 times out of 10 you fumbled, and it would make that funny little whoop noise when the ball would hit, and then you would hit it like the music change and whatever. But yeah, that's how you would build your game breaker meter up. And then when you activated your game breaker, like if you was on defense and you activated your game breaker, I think it stayed on until you switched over to offense, or if the other team scored on you while you had your game breaker defense up, like it'll go away. And then how it worked was, every hit you made with the game breaker defense was a fumble. Like it was legit, every hit, like they was fumbling it. But you know, of course, once you recovered the ball, the game breaker went away. And then on offense, it was very similar. Like whoever had the ball was basically running over everyone. You know, you can complete daggone near any pass. You catch it, run the dude over, and score. And how they switched the game up in NFL Street 3 was they implemented this token system. Because I guess they realized how cheese it was. Because if you timed it right, you can daggone near win every game with the regular game breaker, because you can just always position it to stop one of their drives and you be good. So what this token system did in NFL Street 3 was, instead of game breakers lasting like full possessions, like game breakers became techniques like supers or like a fighting game or something like that. So, and you could only hold a maximum of like 3 tokens at a time. So if you was on offense, I think the tokens you had was a pass token, I won't say like it was specific for pass, but these were the 3 options you could use the tokens on. It was either on like a game breaker pass, which made it so that if you threw the ball, one, that pass was going to be perfect. Two, whoever caught the ball would always fall on his back, but when he falls down, every defender that's around him would also fall with him. But your dude just got up faster, and you would take off running, and it'll be daggone near easy score. If not, guaranteed first down. You also had the game breaker spin, which was one of my favorites, because it reminded me of the rotation technique from Neji and Naruto. Because essentially, if you use the game breaker spin, once he spun, like once the spin was complete, everyone in the radius fell, and you would just take off. And then I think it was the game breaker stiff arm, which turned into like a weird game breaker truck. That was the only one that seemed to have like this weird lasting effect. Because like when you use game breaker spin, it was like as soon as the spin was done and that AOE effect went into play, that was it. But with the stiff arm truck joint, it was like when you activated it, you would stiff arm one dude, you might stiff arm the next dude, and you might run over the next dude if them three was close enough to you. Now, if you met one dude at the 5-yard line and stiff armed him, and then the next dude that came to get you was at like the 15 or the 10, like nah, that joint, it won't go do it for you again. But like if you at the 5 and you stiff arm a dude, and then there's another dude at the 6, he might catch it too. And if there's another dude at the 7-yard line, he might catch it too. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those. But yeah, when they implemented that, I was like, ooh, this game about to get deep. And then they just stopped. And I'm wondering, like, okay, we know who owned Madden, EA, right? I'm like, okay, I didn't play NFL Street enough. I know who owned NFL Street is EA. Like you would think somebody up there would have thought about it by now and be like, yo, let's add in a new mode. Or not even like you don't even have to, like, even if it was to the point you didn't want to sell the game separately because you didn't think that the game would sell well enough by itself to be a singular game, like just import it in to Madden and make it like a special edition joint to where you can either buy your regular Madden for what is it, $60-65, or you can buy like the deluxe Madden for, it ain't gotta be nothing crazy, like $80-85. But if you get the deluxe Madden, it comes with an extra game mode, NFL Street. Alright? You know people, everyone's just gonna get that edition. No one's gonna ever get the regular joint. So you're gonna make your money back. And then who wouldn't love to play that game again? Like, just imagine the type of people we'd have in this NFL Street. People like Lamar Jackson, NFL Street. Come on. Odell Beckham, NFL Street, come on. Tyreek Hill, come on. Aaron Rodgers in NFL Street. Imagine the type of throws they're gonna have Aaron Rodgers doing in NFL Street. Christian McCaffrey in NFL Street. He already looked like a creative player out there, the way he be wiggling around people, finding his way into the end zone. Heck, Cam Newton, I know Cam Newton ain't the same Cam of old, but like I said, man, you gotta respect Cam. Cam Newton, NFL Street, will go crazy. Who else? I'm trying to think. Alvin Kamara would probably eat NFL Street. Drew Brees, I think Drew Brees would be alright. Jalen Hurts, somebody like Jalen Hurts in NFL Street. Because see, what made NFL Street super dangerous was if your quarterback could run, the mismatch was ridiculous. Because for those who have never played NFL Street, I guess it's a little late for me to be doing this now, but let me give you a brief explanation. Let me just say explanation. Let me give you a brief explanation. Weird, tongue got tied. Of how that game works. You are only allowed to, I believe, pick 7 players. Hold on, let me count. Yeah, it was 7 players. You only have 7 players on your team at once. And they allowed you to pick from, like, the big stars of each team. I won't even say, like, the famous people. because it was basically like if you was top 7 on your team or like top 1 in your position or top 2 in your position, like you was good. You was gonna make the team no matter what. But yeah, you had to pick from the 7, and your players played both ways. Right? So, my strategy was always, I want to have 1 receiver and 1 DB. Because in that game, they do their best to up certain people's stats so that the game is somewhat competitive. But like how we're talking about Chris Chambers, you have a person like Chris Chambers who's a receiver, but let's say you mess around, had a turnover on downs, or you fumbled or something like that, or heck, you even scored. Now you got to go play defense. Chris Chambers, who was your receiver, is now your corner, right? So if you ran with 2 receivers, that other team usually just threw over top of you the whole game. Now, because, receivers are still fast, they still allowed them to have some type of coverage skill. But, yeah, back to the rules. Like I said, you had to pick from your team. You could only pick 7 players, and they played both ways. So when you had that running quarterback, it was so unfair because, let's take the D-line, for example. The D-line is usually composed of like offensive linemen and defensive linemen. If you could identify where that offensive lineman was and ran to his side the whole game, he typically had 0 D moves. Like running to that D lineman side was always suicide because he'll put a move on your dude and be gone. Oh, and also they used to have like linebackers playing on the O-line too, and on the D-line. So it was like, oh man, it was such a fun game. But like I was saying, if you had that running quarterback, it was a mismatch because all you had to do was run to the side that did not have the defensive tackle playing and make sure you had your offensive lineman, like your offensive lineman that you chose, picked on that side. Oh, you was good. I was famous for that. Adjust my little roster in the beginning because I know, like, okay, they're starting D tackles, probably gonna line up on the left. I'm about to put my starting offensive tackle on the right, and I'm running right whole game. I just gotta make sure all my plays is quick action because he's gonna put a move on whatever old lineman I got over there on that side. Oh man, I miss that game so much. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm sitting here talking about it now. I got half of mine right now to go in my room and fire that joint up. NFL Street 3 was that game. All of them joints was that game. But yeah, like Madden, what is y'all doing? What is y'all doing? Like, maybe there's some stuff behind the scenes that I don't know about because I don't claim to be the smartest guy in the, I'm about to say in the room, but that's ridiculous. I'm the only one in here besides my dog, and I'm daggone sure smarter than her. But I'm not gonna sit here to claim to be the smartest person. So I know I can't be the only one that's smart. So maybe there is something going on where, like, even though EA owned it, like, because of the people that worked on it, probably don't work on Madden. They might not have, like, it might be like some licensing issue of why they can't, release more of them joints. Or maybe I'm misinformed because at the time, you kids, I ain't really used the internet like talking about. I thought if I liked the game, everybody liked it. So maybe this love that I have for NFL Street, maybe I'm the only one that has it. But it just seems like a no-brainer to me. Okay, 2K got my league, not my league, and the my career joint with the my player, and that joint is a hit. And like I'm looking at it, and it's like it's kind of hard to do that in football because like 9 times out of 10, no one really makes defensive plays. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like, once again, I'm speaking for myself because but I don't really see people or hear about people making like, oh yeah, I just made this sweet safety in Madden, stuff like that. Like, you gonna make a quarterback, you gonna make a running back. Sometimes you don't even like making a receiver because until your dude get good enough, quarterback ain't gonna throw it to you for real, even if you call him for that joint. So it's like, I don't know, it feels like a no-brainer. I feel like it's easy money. I feel like the fandom would love it because it'll add an extra dimension to Madden. Or, yeah, just add an extra dimension. You get Madden, and you might get people that get Madden to only play NFL Street. Heck, make it online. I don't say make it online to the point where it's like, all right, you in a lobby and you got to find 7 other people. I don't think they should do it like that, but make it to where like it's a Madden game. Like if you wanted to play somebody online, hit my mic. If you wanted to play somebody online in NFL Street, you can search a game and get that joint popping. Come on, EA, I need y'all to get up on it. You need some help, call your boy. I've been thinking about this for a while. As you can clearly see, I've been thinking about this for a while. But yeah. And actually, now that I think about it, I remember when I was leaving out the MMA Institute, I went to check my phone and I saw this teaser like cover for the new NFL Street game. It was fake, of course, but it was like Odell Beckham on the cover of that joint. I was like, man, they gotta do it. Like, and at that time when I saw that, I got hyped. I really thought like, yo, they doing it. And then it turns out it was fake. So I was a little down about that. But yeah, come on, EA. Give us NFL Street. I promise you, if EA put NFL Street in Madden, or they just release a NFL Street game, 2K is done. 2K is done. Truthfully, to me, 2K might... Okay, let me rephrase. I don't think 2K is done. But that My Career mode in 2K, for me right now, until I get the new system, I think I might be done with it. And the reason why for that is I hate how stiff they make your My Career player. And the reason I know they make him super duper stiff is because when you play like with the 5-on-5 people, everyone moves real buttery. And yes, I know when you rank your dude up, his lateral quickness goes up, his speed and agility. Yeah, I have a player that's daggone near ranked all the way up. And what I'm talking about isn't necessarily his speed. I'm talking about the reaction as far as when I input something in on the controller to when it happens on the screen. I'm not talking about no minuscule lag of some stuff that you could barely tell. I'm talking about like you hit X to go for the steal, and then there's like a visual pause, and then you see your dude go for the steal, and it's one of those automatic foul steals. You know what I'm saying? Like between that or like let's say you on defense, better yet, let's say you on offense and somebody plucks the ball loose, and like your dude just was in his Kyrie Irving bag, just dribbling, patting the ball. He Eric Bledsoe with the pat game, pop, 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 moving quick. The ball gets tipped and it's sitting right in front of your dude, and he's bending down all slow. He can't turn around. Or you on defense and you moved over to help on somebody else on double team, and you want to move back to your dude, so you start moving the analog stick, but you still stuck in the double team, and it's like, okay, game got sticky on me. So it's like, if y'all release NFL Street 3, I'm telling you. Well, not NFL Street 3, but a new NFL Street, I'm telling you, there's going to be less people on that 2K park and more people playing NFL Street because it's a fun game. Like, it's one of them games you don't even need to know how to play football to play it. You just got to have fun. The only downside to that game I can see happening is they're going to have people like monitoring the system for like exploits and stuff, because we know how the internet gets, especially with sites like Reddit. Somebody find a little advantage in the game and they share it, and now that becomes the new meta. It can make a game daggone near unplayable. Like, what, to give you an example, Derrick Henry. Let's take Derrick Henry for an example. How pissed would you be to play the Titans and you lost because they handed the ball off to Derrick Henry every play? Because, if they make a new NFL Street game, they probably gonna make Derrick Henry's run power ridiculous. He probably gonna have run power higher than Ricky Williams did in NFL Street 1. Gonna be just trucking people. Imagine how unfair it is. So yeah, I think I don't know, EA. Matter of fact, EA, holler at your boy. You need some help building this joint out? I got you. I definitely got you. And how long have I been going? About 34 minutes, 35 minutes or so. I got a couple more topics I kind of want to talk about before I get up out of here if I want to switch to a more serious note, like I said, it's February 2nd, second day of Black History Month, or depending on if you went to sleep or not, it's still the first day of Black History Month. You know, one thing I think, you know, people should do with their, you know, if they don't do it with anybody else, at least with like your friends or stuff, like start getting used to talking finance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like you gotta be like every time you see your friends and stuff, you gotta be the biggest finance nerd and make people feel like, and when I say nerd, I don't mean nerd in a derogatory term, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm a nerd in the field I'm in, you know? But, yeah. Like, especially with your friends, you should start talking finance. Because it's like the language of the world. And especially in the African American, the Black community, it's like talking finance with people sometimes feels taboo, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know if it comes from, like if I had to guess, I would say it comes from that feeling of not wanting to know if you don't make enough money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to figure out a way to explain it with an analogy. Okay, it's similar, like I guess people get that same, like a similar feeling when it comes to talking about finance as when you ask a person like how much money they got in their bank account. All right, like you can ask somebody like, hey, what's your medical history? And they'll tell you everything. Oh yeah, I got hypertension, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. They'll give you that whole list of body failures. But then you ask them like, yo, how much money you got in the bank? And don't be counting my pockets. And you know what I'm saying? And I understand why people say that. And I'm not saying people shouldn't say that. But I'm saying that same reaction, I think, is what people get when is that same reaction is the reason why people don't really talk finance. Because they don't want to talk finance and either show that they don't know much about it, or that they might realize like, hey, I'm in an entirely different financial bracket than my friend. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's an emotion that stops people from talking about it or whatever. But I definitely think it's important because, like I said, that's the language of how the world works. You know. As much as we might not like it, you know, money kind of runs everything. And it's like if you can't speak money and people around you is speaking money, you don't know what people are talking about. Even now, like with this whole GameStop stuff, I feel stupid. Like I don't feel stupid because I didn't participate in the whole thing. I feel stupid because I have no clue what people are talking about. And it feels bad. Like I'm listening to people talk English. Like I know what these English words mean. Like I know what the word short means. You know, short. Something that is short. You know what short is? I won't say I'm short, but I will say I'm height challenged. You know what I'm saying? But you know what short is. I know what squeeze is. I know what a squeeze is. But then the moment they put them two words together, short squeeze, they might as well be speaking French. I'm like, what the heck is a short squeeze? And then it's like I'm looking up the definition of a short squeeze and I'm hitting all these other stuff. I'm like, yo, am I stupid? Like I have no clue what these dudes is talking about. But they talking about billions of dollars, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, 10, 50s, like, oh man. And I'm sitting here like, yo, I gotta do better. So yeah, like I said, if the world speaks finance and you don't know what the world's saying, you lost. Like you lost. I'm not saying like you lost in life. You can still be successful not knowing finance. There's plenty of people out there that are successful not knowing finance. But let's be real. How much more successful would they be if they knew about it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if I had to give a little bit of advice before I go ahead and sure, I don't know. I was about to end the little late night Sleepless Dog joint, but I kind of feel like talking to y'all for a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely not tired. I have me some water. I'll probably get some water in a little bit again because I've been talking for a while. But yeah, what else? Let's do a little lightning round. Lightning round is basically gonna be, you know, more topics, but these topics kind of off the cuff, off the top of the head. Oh, you know, this is big segue. But part of the lightning round, you know, it can't really call it a segue if we in a lightning round. So yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and kick it out to you. Attack on Titan. It doesn't matter if you're an anime fan or not. Listen to me and listen to me well. Stop whatever you're doing unless you're listening to this. If you're listening to this, please keep listening. Thank you. But if you're doing anything else, stop what you're doing and please hold on. Let me look at the camera. I was over here just vibing, but let me look at y'all when I say this. Attack on Titan. Please go watch it. I'm about to give y'all a little tech for my anime guys and my anime gals out there. I'm about to give y'all the tech. So listen, I'm about to drop that joint off. I need like a little water drop. You know, the more I do these, I'm gonna get me a little soundboard or something that I can like hit, set me some drops and effects for when I release the tech. I need like a little water drop. Here go the tech. For my anime gals and my anime guys. If your significant other claims they don't really like that anime crap, you know how they call it. Oh, you like that Naruto? You know, they don't ever really say it right. They always messing up the name. You like that Naruto, that Naruto stuff? You know what I'm saying? You get that response. If you ever want to show them the beauty that is anime, you put on Attack on Titan. Right? And now, I will warn you, when it first comes on, they're going to be like, what is this? All right? All you have to do is make them sit down for the first episode, and your work is done. They will finish that series. Attack on Titan might be the best gateway anime going other than One Punch Man. One Punch Man is otherworldly because that joint is hilarious. Everyone loves it. Oh, and I guess I gotta say, like, shows like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is dope. I'm not kidding. Demon Slayer was fire. But Attack on Titan is well-being. Like, Attack on Titan is one of them joints that, like, you watching it, like, you almost forget it's an anime. Like you so into Attack on Titan, like, you really feel like you in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really feel like you the dude, you know, going up against these guys. So yes, please, if you haven't done it, please go watch Attack on Titan. This new season is straight gas. Yesterday's episode, oh my goodness. I'm not gonna spoil because I'm not a big fan of spoilers. You know what I'm saying? So I pride myself on not doing it. Even the way I was describing Attack on Titan, I wanted to describe it in a completely different way. But, you know, by majority of y'all never seen that series, I don't want to ruin it for you. But listen, that joint is gas. It's gonna tug on your heartstrings. It's gonna make you laugh. Oh man, listen, it's going on 103, and I think I'm hitting my groove. Go watch Attack on Titan. Go watch it. I think I've seen Attack on Titan all the way through, like season 1, episode 1 to. Okay, I ain't gonna cap. I haven't really watched season 4 like over and over again. But let's say I'm talking from season 1 to season 3. I know I've seen that joint at least 5 times. Like, rewatch that joint at least 5 times. It's that gas. You know. And since I'm dropping off the tech, I'm gonna go ahead and give off the order. If you want to take a random and have the potential of turning them to a big anime fan, I'm about to drop the tech about the order in which you should give these people shows. I say if you like real deep, real big into the anime and you like your action, like me personally, I don't really watch too many like pure comedy shows. Better yet, for my anime lovers, you understand where I'm going with when I give you the list. Number one, I like to start off showing people Attack on Titan. I've already told you that's my number one gateway anime. After that, depending on what parts of Attack on Titan they like, will determine where I go next with my next choice. But if I had to choose, I like to go Tokyo Ghoul. Right now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying, Tokyo Ghoul is top 5 anime on my list. Right? I'm talking about gateway. I'm trying to get you in. So I'm gonna show you something. Attack on Titan is more, it's very action heavy, and how do I want to see? It's hard. Like I can't even really compare. Like if we looking at them side by side, right? Trying to compare Attack on Titan to Tokyo Ghoul, like it's hard, but bear with me. They mesh very well together, right? If they liked how like that Attack on Titan, it'll give you this weird desperation feeling. Like if you liked that feeling from Attack on Titan, or if the person you're showing it to enjoyed that, and you give them Tokyo Ghoul, you just created an anime fan. Because it's a completely different show. And it shows like, okay, you got that story over here that is wild and ridiculous and you love it. I'm about to give you this other story that's also wild and ridiculous, but in a completely different manner. And they're going to love it, especially, like I said, if they like that desperation feeling that you get watching Attack on Titan. Now, I'm not saying Attack on Titan is always desperate, but like I said, go watch the show and you'll understand completely what I mean by that. But yeah, like I said, I start off Attack on Titan. If they banging with that, I go Tokyo Ghoul. Right. After Tokyo Ghoul, this is where things get tricky. This is where things kind of get tricky. What I like to do is I like to go Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Right? But if I realize after watching Tokyo Ghoul that I've kind of put them off, like let's say if we was making like I was about to say a chart and actually start drawing on this paper in front of me, but y'all can't really see it. Wait, I got the camera on too. Hold on, I'm doing in case you ain't know, I'm doing both voice and audio.
I poured your tea because
so
I wanted to.
That I can show.
And for no other reason.
You might be listening to the audio version of this, what I'm talking about, right? So let's say if I was making a quick chart showing their their excitement levels for, oh shoot, I gotta figure out how to get this joint in. Alright, man, you can see it a little bit. You understand that's a little line chart I'm about to get crazy with. If I'm about to show the excitement levels for anime, right? So let's say they started off, I hit the mic a little bit, sorry about that. Let's say they started off over here at 0, right? They don't really know nothing about it. They don't really care for it at all. And I showed them Attack on Titan, right? And now we get this. They kind of going up, piquing their interest. Let's say I go to Tokyo Ghoul next, and it brings them down. Let's say it backfires on me a little bit and brings them down. That's when I pull out the One Punch Man. Because I know no matter what, you're going to enjoy One Punch Man. So One Punch Man will shoot it back up. And if they bang with One Punch Man real hard, I give a Mob Psycho afterwards because it's very similar. And I want, I'm trying to get them used to watching animation, like that style of animation. Because, in America, over here, when we think of like animated shows or cartoons, we always think of it as these like little kids and only kids really watching stuff. So I'll use One Punch Man and Mob Psycho if my Tokyo Ghoul play fails. Now, if the Tokyo Ghoul play is a success, right? If it's a success, what I then try to jump into, which is also a little risky, it's a little risky, I try to jump into Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter. I was about to back, you know what, I'm gonna backtrack. I also think I'm gonna backtrack to the beginning of it. When you're showing them Attack on Titan, right? I advise show them the first 2 seasons of Attack on Titan. Give it a break. Like show them the first 2 and then jump to Tokyo Ghoul. Not because I think season 3 is bad. I think season 3 is great. Right? But I'm not trying to burn you out on anime on one show. Because that's a lot of time you gotta commit. You know what I'm saying? So I go season 1 and 2 Attack on Titan. You know, Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul is one of them ones where if they like it, they gonna watch it all. Same way with Attack on Titan. But I'm fine with you watching the entirety of the Tokyo Ghoul anime. And then we go to Hunter x Hunter. Now, Hunter x Hunter is gonna be like, yo, like out of this list, this is gonna be what make or break it, right? If you play the Hunter x Hunter card, matter of fact, the Hunter x Hunter card should only really be played if, like I said before, they really love Attack on Titan and they love the Tokyo Ghoul. Because Hunter x Hunter is a better series than both of them. The problem is it's long. Now, it ain't as long as one of my personal favorites, that is One Piece. I would never give One Piece to a beginning anime watcher because they would never make it far enough in to fully feel that connection with the show, right? But Hunter x Hunter is a little different. If you can make it past, I'll say, if you can make it to episode 3 of Hunter x Hunter, you have just created a lifelong anime fan. Because that's how great that series is, right? But I say, you get to Hunter x Hunter, once you get past the I say get them all the way to the Hunter exam. I'm not gonna say anything about the series because, like I said, you know, some of y'all out there might not be anime fans and might be listening to this list I give off and making your own. Like, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm gonna just use archetypes. Once you get them past, because I don't know which season this is in that show. Once you get them to the Hunter exam, you know, that's when you kind of like. I like to introduce a show, and then, you know, once I kind of got them hooked on it, let them go back to that show at their leisure, so I'm not forcing them to do that. You know what I'm saying? But after you get past the Hunter exam and the Hunter exam arc and Hunter x Hunter, that's when I introduce Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? That's when I drop that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood joint on you. Because see, now you're invested, like you understand the patterns of an anime, you understand the patterns of like a shonen or you know, that's a type of anime, like a genre type of it. Like, now that you understand all of that, when I drop that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on you, right, it's gonna hit heavy. Now, mind you, I do think Hunter x Hunter is a better series, but I'm not arguing which series is better. Right now, we putting together, I'm showing y'all the tech of how to build an anime fan, because we can't give them we can't give them the straight classics. One, because like I said, I'm not dropping One Piece off to you off rip because it takes too long to get into. I'm not giving you I don't advise in suggesting Naruto, even though I know Naruto is a golden series.
ingredient.
I don't advise it because it's too popular and it's used like in the anime community. Like, it's like, okay, I won't even say in the anime community. To the anime community is used as such a derogatory term for us anime and manga watchers that Okay, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. I don't advise suggesting them to watch Naruto too early, because that is the show they use to make fun of us anime and manga watchers / readers forever, right? So it's hard for people to accept, like, oh, the thing I used as a joke against these guys for so long is good. Like, they're not gonna watch it. Like, you gonna tell them, yo, let's watch Naruto, and they gonna hit you with, I'm not watching that anime crap. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't advise showing them Naruto early, or shows like One Piece early. Now, One Piece ain't the butt of a joke, but I have to stress this over and over and over and over and over again. One Piece is that gas, but it's too long. Well, not too long for me. It's too long for a newbie. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I find out somebody is into One Piece, like, there's certain questions that just I want to ask. Like, I want to just throw out names and just ask. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, a newbie isn't gonna get that feeling. Like, they're gonna be in the East Blue, and I'm like, I'm tired of this. And I'm gonna be sitting there like, nah, you gotta stick with it. And then they're gonna be looking like, man, it's over 700 episodes of this. I'm not watching 700 episodes of One Piece. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I don't give that too up. But where we at? Let's go back to the tech list. We got Attack on Titan, to Tokyo Ghoul, to Hunter x Hunter, couple episodes of Hunter x Hunter, to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Alright. And from there, where would I go? Where would I go from there? After I drop that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on you, if I'm trying to create a long-term friend, like a long-term anime person, it's crazy. I can't think. I think that's the tech. I think it might not even be 5. It might just be 4. Okay. After Full Metal, because I said in the other one, if they didn't like Tokyo Ghoul, I would switch it to One Punch Man. I guess in this chart, let's say they do like Tokyo Ghoul, and then we went to Hunter x Hunter, and then we went to Full Metal. Like, that's when I hit you. That's when I hit you with One Punch Man, because now you gonna truly understand how great One Punch Man is, because you gonna get the satire in the show, right? You gonna get the parody, you gonna get the similes and the metaphors that they use, because it's a great show, but they also do like they kind of make fun of how shonens and stuff are built, without spoiling too much of the story. I ain't really spoiling nothing about the series, but One Punch Man is definitely goated. So yeah, if I had to build my top 5, my 5 go-tos to make an anime fan out of anybody, yeah, we got Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist, and One Punch Man. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I kind of want to switch it. Because maybe I think I'm still giving you Hunter x Hunter too early. Because Hunter x Hunter is similar to how One Piece is, in that, like, the amount of episodes can kind of be intimidating. So I might, but see, nah, I gotta leave it alone. I gotta leave it how it is. I gotta leave the list how it is. We got Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, Yep. Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal, One Punch Man. There it is. You got him. You do that, you got him. You do that, you got them. You got them. Now, once you get them on that, all right, once you get them hooked on that anime gas, all right, this is how I personally advise if you want to start getting them into like the cream of the crop, like a super long goated series. Like if you an anime fan, like these is the staple series and stuff that you gotta watch. How I would get them into a show like One Piece would be, I would tell them about the show. Like that'd be one of the few shows that I would spoil the beginning of, right? Because I need to get you past some stuff. I need to get you past some stuff to make you care about the show enough to make you want to go back and rewatch it. You know what I'm saying? Because the beginning of One Piece is a slow burn. Not as much of a slow burn as like Hitman Reborn or nothing like that. But the beginning of it, if I'm comparing the beginning of it to the rest of it, right? The beginning of it is, I'm not gonna say it's trash, but it's, you know, like if I had to rate it, like if the beginning of it compared to the end of it is like a 5 compared to a 10. Even though the beginning of One Piece really is a 10, it's still good, right? But I know I can get you hooked if I talk about it before you watch it. And then let's say I catch you up to Eni's lobby, right? Yeah. Let's say I catch you up to Eni's lobby, and then I start showing you Eni's lobby a little bit. Like this is me once again dropping the tech of how I can turn a person that ain't seen One Piece into a One Piece fan, because I done it. You want to start them off Eni's lobby, but you want to tell them everything that happened. I keep shaking the mic, I'm sorry. You want to tell them everything that happened up until Eni's lobby, right? And then while you got it on, they're gonna be asking questions like, who's that, who's this, who's that? Pause it. Give them detailed explanations. Have your emotions into it. Don't get upset when they ask questions, because you are starting them off in the middle of the series. But you want to show them how high the stakes get in this show, right? So you start them off Eni's lobby, or Water 7. I call them both the same, but let's be exact. Let's be exact, because I know there's some people out there, why we start them in Eni's lobby? You should start Water 7. Like, let me be exact. You gonna start them off Water 7. And then tell them start over when they get to the beginning of Impel Down. Yeah, it's the beginning of Impel Down. I'm trying to remember how I did it. I think it was the beginning of Impel Down. If I didn't do that with this person, this is me thinking back on it now, I think that's best. You go from Water 7 to the beginning of Impel Down, right? And then make them start it all over. You know what I'm saying? So now when they go back and start it all over, they've established a connection with the characters, right? But then now they get to see the backstories, and like the show is just gonna feel better. Like they're gonna feel like, they're not gonna feel like a casual watching it. Even though this is the first time they've heard all the stories, but now they get to see it in action. And then it's gonna also allow them to skip. Because like I said, it's some stuff of episodes. Matter of fact, I'm about to look it up. Let me see. I'm gonna go to this website right here, and I'm about to tell y'all what episode of One Piece we are currently on. I can tell you what chapter off the top of my head. We done just got chapter 1002. So that lets you know right there. That lets you know right there the sheer girth of this series. Like, okay, I'm looking at it right now. It say One Piece episode 960. Episode 960. You know what I'm saying? You can't just drop One Piece off to somebody on episode 1 and be like, yo, watch this. It's gas. Watch it all. You know what I'm saying? They gonna look at that and be like, bro, I'm not about to spend 960 24-minute segments of my life watching this show, right? And I'm looking at them like, bro, you don't have a life if you ain't watching the show. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm feeling. But you can't just drop that off on no random. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody that's not invested in this anime stuff. And even if you are invested in this anime stuff, you still don't just drop One Piece off on their lap. It's too big. It's like if somebody came to me right now and put a stack of it ain't even got to be a stack of the Harry Potter books. If they gave me that big stack of the Harry Potter movies, I'm gonna be looking at it like, yo, I know this series is great. This series is goated. I'm gonna get to that when I get to that. You know what I'm saying? And then, 9 times out of 10, I'm never gonna get to it. I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna put that off for a weekend where I ain't got nothing to do, and then I'm gonna watch all the Harry Potter Jones, and then I know it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Let alone it be the books. I ain't reading them joints. Even though I know the series is good, I probably wouldn't read it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's similar in that vein. Like you don't just drop One Piece off on people, even though that's joint to go. You don't just drop One Piece off on people. What else? Oh, my lips a little. Ain't tell me that my lips was a little chapped. Let me grab some of the Vaseline. Another tech. That's another tech right there. Ashy lips. Man, hit them joints with that Vas. Oh, that sound a little wild, don't it? Even though I ain't say nothing bad, that joint just sound a little wild. But yeah, hit them lips with that Vaseline. You good. You good. You gravy. You good. You good. Hit them with that Vaseline. You good. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. For those that's only listening to the audio, you can't see him, but let me describe him for you. How my lips looked at first. How my lips looked before I put the Vaseline on it. You ever seen a cement basketball court in the middle of summer when it's like 95 degrees outside and that joint just look ashy? Like it's so hot that like the ground, like that cement look ashy. That's how my lips was. Right now that I done thrown that Vaseline on, let me describe how they look now. You know how when you at Thanksgiving and you got all that food on your plate and you about to start digging in, but you pick up that nice piece of country ham. You pick that joint up with your hand. You ain't even use the fork. You grab that joint with the hand, took a little bite, chewing on that joint, picked up the little chicken, took a little bite of that.
Please sit. Why don't
got
you
your bread,
enjoy
your
a
roll.
cup of calming
You got a little green
jasmine
juice on the
tea?
roll. Eat a little bit of that, and then you look at your hand, and your hand look like you done just dipped that joint in water. But that's really all the grease and stuff that's been dripping off the food, that delicious food you eating. And now your fingers is all shiny. You gotta get the napkin. Right now, my lips is looking. My lips got that Thanksgiving shine to it. You know what I'm saying? You got that Thanksgiving shine. That Thanksgiving shine. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Now that I didn't fix that. I didn't fix that. Let me. Dang, I'm up. Like I'm up. Like this is wicked. But hey, that's why I got this joint going. Called the Sleepless Dog, baby. Because we don't sleep over here. We be up. Vampire hours. You know what I'm saying? I'm also waiting for this. I'm also waiting for Peerless Dad to drop. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite little series to read, Peerless Dad. If y'all haven't read that, check it out. To give a brief description of what that show is about. It's about a dude that got hands. Like, he got hands. I'm talking like if you like see this is where things get tough, right? I feel like it's easy to make an anime fan, right? It's hard to make a manga fan, because like once you become a manga fan, like you really into it. Like, it's crazy. Most people, like, when they become manga fans, like they honestly have to limit the manga they read in order to stay a manga, like in order to stay an anime fan. You know what I'm saying? Because if you become a manga fan and you become like a manga head with it, right? All anime seem trash to you, because now you know what the author intended versus what the studio gave you. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me give you an example. With a show. I started off, and I used to love the One Piece anime. I thought the One Piece anime was goated until I started reading the manga. And then I started realizing, like you know how people be like, oh bro, the book was better than the movie. Like, you know, you start to really see that, because you like, dang, Toei, why you skip this? Or, come on, Toei, why you do that? Like, dang, come on, studio, why you do this? Why you do that? You know what I'm saying? So, because of that, most manga readers will tell you, like, they'll be like, oh, nah, I'm not gonna read Attack on Titan. I'm gonna just wait on those to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because they know if they read it and then they go and watch it, like, it's not the same. It don't hit the same. Don't hit the same. Once you start reading manga and start watching the manga you read, you're like, it don't hit the same. But yeah, it's the same reason why
it is important to draw wisdom from many different places.
The same thing happened to me with Demon Slayer.
From only one place.
Right? I started watching a Demon Slayer anime, and I was like, what is this? This joint is great. And I caught up. Like, this is before like the first season ended. I caught up. And I was like, oh bro, I'm reading this joint. And I read it. Then when I'm watching Demon Slayer, like, that excitement that I had for the series is gone. It's like, okay, like, all right, like, this is still good. Animation's still top tier. Don't get it twisted. Right? But take a series like Vinland Saga. Even when Vinland Saga was coming out weekly, I had refused to read it until I knew for sure, like, okay, this season is over. Then I was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna go ahead and read this joint now, because that's another one. Now that I've read Vinland Saga, even though I haven't read that joint in a while, and me knowing where the story is gonna go next, I'm looking at it like, am I gonna be able to watch this in anime form? Like, of course I'm gonna give it a shot, of course, because that anime was goated as well. But it's hard to explain unless you become like a manga head. Like, all my manga heads out there, they know what I'm talking about. They know exactly what I mean when I'm telling them, like, with certain series you can't read. Like, a certain series I won't read, because I'm like, I like this show too much. I'm not trying to ruin it. Not ruin it in the sense that the manga is gonna be worse. It's ruin it in the sense that the manga is gonna be better, and then I'm gonna read it faster. You know what I'm saying? You'll go through a couple chapters in 10 minutes. Right? And those same couple chapters you done went through in like 10-15 minutes would have taken you like an hour of watch time. You know what I'm saying? So you can see how quick, like, once you start switching to the manga, that you would catch up to the anime and surpass it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's that. My fault. I had one of them, like, I don't know if I want to call it a yawn. Like, I get this weird thing that happens. Whenever I record, I like to cut my AC and heat unit off, because I've realized, like, I do not like hearing that hum in the background of like the videos and stuff. So why I'm talking about that is because this weird thing happens to me where whenever I get a chill, I yawn. No matter what time of the day, like, it doesn't matter. Whenever I get a chill, I yawn. Right? And it just happened just now. And I ain't want people to be like, hey bro, you just said you was wide awake and you over there yawning. No, I'm yawning because it's cold in here. I I got my hoodie on, but I still had caught a chill. And that joint just made me yawn. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised the little water tear didn't come down my face, because that usually follows next. You know what I'm saying? But nah, let me rephrase. Usually when that tear starts falling, that means I'm tired. It does not mean I'm sad. It does not mean like something is bothering me. It's the weirdest thing. And it's one. It'll be one. And it look like the movie.
People see me and
like,
think I'm weak. They
like
want to
that
take care
tear.
of me. But
For
I
the
can
people in the
take care of
camera, they
myself
can see what I'm saying.
by
But for
myself.
the people just listening, let me
Sound like my nephew.
right now, I am
Always
pointing
thinking you need
to,
to
on my
do
right
things
eye,
on your
I'm
own
pointing to that
without
right
anyone's support.
outside corner.
There is
You know what I'm saying?
nothing wrong with
The tear don't
people
even come
who
from
love
there.
you, help you.
The tear
that
don't
I
come
love
from
you,
that
but
inner
I
tear
just
up on
met
the
you.
inside. You know what I'm saying? It don't come from there. That joint come from, it feel like that joint fall right out the pupil. You know, of course, I know how the eye watering process works. How when people think out there thinking that I think tears come out your pupil. You know what I'm saying? But there's a visual representation for those that can see me, and for those that can't, I'm about to describe. The tear falls from the dead center of the eye. Right, that joint, it'll be one, and it'll be a nice, you know, because I got good facial bone structures and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You know, that joint will fall straight down, and you know, men don't wipe their tears. Men let them joints hang. So sometimes that joint will fall, and I just let it sit there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hit one of them. You know, I'll let it sit there. You know, let my eye do its thing right quick. But that's how I know, like, oh, it's about time for me to, you know, hit the hay. But yeah, it's been an hour. Dang, that hour went by. It didn't even feel like it's been an hour yet. I'm having fun with this. Like I said, you now listening to the Sleepless Dog. I guess I can get into a little bit about why I decided I'm gonna do something like this, right? And I think I said a little bit about this in the beginning, but basically, you know, when it gets late like this and I'm working, say I'm editing, or I'm reading, or I'm coding, or something like that. You know, sometimes I'll get to thinking, and like I'll have questions, and it's like, of course, or I'll have thoughts. Like, well, one, I'm gonna have questions, two, I'm gonna have thoughts. And it's like, of course, with the questions and stuff, I could just Google it, right? And of course, with the thoughts and stuff, like I can Google it. You know what I'm saying? I can always just Google it. But I sometimes like to get outside of my head. And what I mean by that is, you know, for those of y'all that do stay up late, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it'll hit a point where, let's say it's 11:30, right? And this is when people start to like
The
wind
stomach
down
is the
and stuff
source of
like that.
energy in your body.
Like, you'll start to
It
notice
is
like your
called
phone,
the sea
your
of
phone goes
chi.
a little quiet. You start
Only in
getting
my
messages,
case,
yada,
it's
yada,
more
yada.
like a vast
So
ocean.
like 11:30, and let's say I'm looking at like what time it is now. It's like 1:30, right? I could easily go that entire time being wide awake, not talking. Like, I'm just in my head, just thinking, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I sometimes have a feeling of wanting to, you know, get out of my head and just kind of express the thoughts vocally, you know, exercise my vocal box a little bit more and whatnot. So I said, you know, if I'm gonna do that, might as well make a thing out of it. You know what I'm saying? The Sleepless Dog. We're here. What else? Oh, I started playing this game. I'm real big into games too. You know what I'm saying? I started playing this game, Anthem, and you know, I liked it. I like it a lot, right? The only thing that's kind of turning me off from it a little bit is that, ooh, got another shield. Oh, see? You see what I'm saying? You saw it. You saw it and you heard it. Right? You saw it and you heard it. I had to chill, and what followed? The yawn. You know what I'm saying? The yawn. The yawn. Now, let me before I go and start talking about Anthem, I will say this though. If the yawn is strong enough, it may make both of my eyes water. All right. Now I will wipe that. All right. Now, even though that didn't happen right now, I will wipe the water eyes. You know what I'm saying? Before they fall, I'll get that out the way. But once it falls, you gotta leave it. That's the rule. That's the tech. That's the tech. That's the tech. Listen to me. That's the tech. Once the tear falls, you gotta leave it. And that goes for one tear or the stream. Right? Like if say something happening and God forbid anything bad happened to anybody or anything like that, right? But let's say you in a situation where the tears are just falling, for all the fellas out there, let me tell you, leave it alone. Leave it alone, because typically when we in that emotional state and you wiping, you're not really thinking about how you look. I'm gonna let you know you look crazy. Don't wipe the tears unless you cry like Michael Jordan. Because when Michael Jordan cried, it looked like his face explode. But if you just got the tears, bro, just let that joint fall, let it rock. Because when you start doing all of this, you look crazy. You look crazy. Just let them joints rock. Be mad about it. Except them tears falling down your face. It's alright. It's alright. Just let them fall. Let it out. Cause 9 times out of 10, when them tears is falling, they may have started because of one thing, but let's be honest, them tears might be falling for a whole nother reason too. Don't hold that in. Like your body, you've gotten to a point where, because this Black History Month, I'm about to talk to my fellas. Don't matter what race you are, but I am black, so I'm gonna speak on the black experience, right? There's you develop a shell, of like an emotional wall. I won't call it an emotional wall, but like a emotional toughness to yourself, right? To where you've gotten so good at stopping tears that you almost do it unconsciously. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because I personally don't think it. I will say that I don't think it's all the way bad, and I don't think it's all the way good. How about that? I'm gonna leave it somewhere in the middle right there. But yeah, we develop this sort of toughness to crying, right? And without sounding too much like a softie, it can be a relief to sometimes, get that cry out. Now, I ain't saying be out here being a crybaby. I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that, it's okay to be out here being soft. You know what I'm saying? And when I say soft, I don't mean it in I always got to preface it, because, it's 2021. People are a little more sensitive than people just sensitive now. And okay, great point. Let me write it down so I can have some clarity when I talk about it. All right, there's a difference.
Nothing wrong with a life of peace.
There's a difference. There's a difference between being soft
and why,
and being sensitive.
I want my destiny.
Let me say that again.
What that means is up
there
to
is
you.
a difference between being soft and being sensitive. So when I'm talking about people that's soft, I'm not talking about sensitive folk. Like when I'm saying people are sensitive in 2021, I mean people don't understand context. So I'm not saying, now I'm not talking about how do I want to explain? Some people will, in order to dispute a point or dispute a point of view, they will try and jump into the semantics of what a person is saying to discredit them, rather than, talking about the issue. Like what I'm talking about now, about saying people being soft. Like, you know, there might be somebody out there that's like, see, you can't be out here calling people soft. That's a derogatory term. You're using it to, you know what I'm saying? They doing that because they got real sensitive with themselves because they might see the softness in themselves and don't want to admit to it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a little softy in them. You got to. Everybody got a little softy in them. Just don't let it hang all the time. Don't let that softy hang out. You know, it's some stuff you just gotta be tough with. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I ain't saying be out here being a big softy with the tears and stuff like that, crying every time something happened. But I'm also not saying it ain't good to just keep all that stuff bottled up. You know? It ain't. Not at all. Not at all. But yeah. So I ain't gonna lie to you. When I got onto the whole soft and sensitive thing, I actually kind of got misplaced about what I was talking about. I also am looking at this. I'm also looking at this anime list, and this joint called Idly Pride. Like, I don't know what this is. I've never. Oh nope, not watching it. Not watching it. All right. I will say this: when it comes to anime, I do consider myself an anime fan, but I'm weak. Shout out to Anime Fan Talk, but I do consider myself an anime fan. But there's a criteria of anime that I will watch, and there's definitely a criteria of anime that I will not watch. Like, I'm not even gonna give it a chance. Like, I might accept that it's good. Like, I could hear raving reviews from everybody in the world talking about that anime, and I'm not watching it. And those typically are any middle schoolish, like, slice of lifey, like a slice of life middle school type drama show. I'm not watching it. Heck, like a lot of the slice of life high school stuff, I can't watch it. Like, I don't know, it's something like that's not my cup of tea. And if I'm being honest, I think it's how they, like, because I can admit certain animes do over, what's the word? Accentuate. Is that the word? Accentuate. They over accentuate like some of the female characters, and it's like, come on now. Like, this is an anime. This person is supposed to be in middle school, and she's over here like wilding. Like, she's wilding on this joint right now. Like, I gotta click off of this because I now feel uncomfortable watching this middle schooler wild out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said there's certain animes I just can't bang with. And that's, like I said, the middle school joints, the high school joints. Now, when I say middle school, I'm not talking just purely age. I'm really talking about that school category. Because, like, let's take Hunter x Hunter, for example. And we talking about the main character, Gon Freaks. He's what? I don't know. 12, 14, something like that, in that range, somewhere like that. You know, but I can watch that because it's not like they highlight the youthfulness of the kids, you know what I'm saying? Even the other characters in there is like adults and stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about? I can watch that. Or take a show like
Sometimes
Naruto,
life
right?
is like this dog.
Well, see, that's tough.
You can't always see the light at the end of
That's
the
also
tunnel,
tough.
but if you just keep moving,
It's not tough
you
to
will
meaning
come
that
to
I
a
think
better
Naruto is one
place.
of the shows that I can't watch because that's not the case. But I have to factor in the fact that I started watching Naruto as a kid, right? So even now, when I go back and watch certain episodes, I'm like, hey, bro, they kind of wild. Like, I'm skipping that because they wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might see like a bath scene. Like, they might be at like the hot springs or something in Naruto, right? And they get into the Ichi phase. You know, if you don't know what Ichi is, kind of look that joint up. You know, make sure you look that up in your incognito tab. You know, I'm just trying to save your browser history right quick. Look it up in your incognito tag. You know what I'm talking about. It starts to get into that whole ichi and like harem, the hentai-ish. I wouldn't even fully call it hentai. It's like that weird ichi harem type realm. Like I skip that. Like I personally think it's weird, unless it's like a pivotal point to the story. And typically, when it's a pivotal point to the story, they're not getting into that ichi harem type stuff anyway, right? But like, take a show like Naruto. In the past, I didn't think that way because I'm like, oh, you know, I'm the same age as these guys. But now when I watch it and I understand how life works a little bit more, I'm like, hold on. We can't. I can't have this on my screen. I gotta skip that. You know what I'm talking about? There's stuff like that. But yeah, those are the type of animes and stuff I don't really like. And another one is the mechs. All right, and it's crazy. I'm a big Gundam fan. But if it ain't Gundam, I'm not trying to see that mech show. Like I'm not trying to watch the mech. And I know people be like, oh, but there's some dope mechs out there. You gotta watch it. I'm not a big fan of the big clunky metal fighting. You know what I'm saying? Now it's different. Like if I could find a mech show that was like sleek with it, I would, but I ain't seen one yet. But yeah, I'm not trying to sit there and watch them big clunky scrap metal machines slap up against each other, doing all this weird like. Here it is. This is my thing with the mech animes that I never really understood. They'll be inside of this big armor suit, right? And the suit's arm will get hit, and then they show the dude in the cockpit going like you know, like grunting, and I'll be sitting there looking like, bro, you didn't get hit. It was your suit. And like, mind you, I'm saying this is your suit because typically in these mech joints, the suits be massive. So it's like to put it to scale, it'd be like if a tree branch fell off a tree, of course, because where else are a tree branch falling? If it would be like if a tree branch fell and hit your roof, right? Even if it's a massive tree branch hit your roof, it'd be like if you start screaming in pain, like my back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, all right, bro. Like, yeah, your house got hit, but you ain't get touched. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that puts me off with the mech animes, because like the armor be getting hit, and they be over there crying like it's them. Unless now maybe this is the case because you know manga and anime be on some weird like weird creative stuff sometimes. Unless it's along the lines of like the robot suit is synced to their nervous system, then I can watch it. Like for example, like Iron Blooded Orphans, that joint. Like I can watch that, even though it's a mech show. You know, I can watch that. I'm trying to think what other shows am I doing? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's basically the list of type of animes I don't really bang with. If I think of some more, I'm gonna definitely add them. But yeah, like you kind of get the gist of. Sorry, my forehead got a little itchy. You kind of get the gist of where I'm going as far as the animes and stuff. I don't vibe with. But let me see what time is it? It's 1:10. I've been doing this for an hour and 30. This is 1:53. It's almost there, going near 2 o'clock, and I know I started around 12. Alright, I guess I'll end it in a little bit, but I do wanna say this before I go. Kind of switching gears, getting off the anime stuff for a little bit. You know, if you made it this long, once again I'm about to drop off another tech for you. Another tech. This is a tech that I'm still struggling with myself, you know. I think this is one of them ones that kind of stick with you. Like, it's one of them joints you gotta constantly remind yourself of, because you're gonna catch yourself doing it. And that is you gotta fight through that nervousness sometimes. that nervousness can be in a bunch of different things in life. Like, for example, let's say you out with your boys, you out with your girl, and like your girls or whatever, and you see that special someone, and you're like, dang, I really want to say something to her, but I'm nervous, and you don't do it. Like, you gotta start fighting that. You got to, because you might not realize it. But you do it with other stuff too. Right? It's like you'll start to find yourself making excuses for stuff you truly want to do, but you're like nervous about failing at it. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, some people, not even some, let's be real, majority of the people that's overweight and big and huge and stuff, like they want to go to the gym, but they don't want to go to the gym. Like, they want to lose weight, but they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's that nervousness of, and I'm not saying for all, I'm talking about for some. It's that nervousness of being in the gym and being looked at as the huge person at the gym or whatever. And it's like, I can understand where that emotion comes from. And I'm not saying that feeling you get is wrong, but like, you gotta push through it. Push through that nervousness. You know, my boys got me hip to that lesson. Matter of fact, this weekend.
Is it your
chilling
own
after we
destiny,
recorded.
or is it
We
a
was all just
destiny
kind of
someone
chilling,
else
talking.
has tried to force on you?
You know, talking how guys talk. You know how that be. And yeah, I was acting like a little punk in the situation. I was scared. I was nervous. And, you know, they snapped me out of it. As they should. You know, that's what friends do for you. But yeah, if I leave you with anything throughout this sleepless night that we kind of going through, it'll be that. But all right, peace. I'll tech y'all next time. Hold on. I like that though. Peace. I'll tech y'all next time. This is the